Mexico is famous for the beauty and diversity of its historic centers, many of which are full of history, culture, and impressive architecture that reflects centuries of indigenous, colonial, and modern influences. Let's take a look at 10 of the most beautiful and iconic historic centers in the country. Number 1. Mexico City. We begin our list with the largest and most emblematic historic center in all of Latin America. The historic center of Mexico City is the cultural, political, and economic heart of the Mexican capital. It is one of the oldest areas with the greatest historical richness in the country. It was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1987. In 668 blocks and an area of 9.7 square kilometers, it is possible to admire architecture that summarizes the history of the pre-Hispanic, colonial, independent, and modern eras of our country. It has around 100 buildings among temples, museums, hotels, shops, galleries, theaters, and cultural centers, many of them classified as historical or artistic monuments. The area where the historic center is located was the core of ancient Tenochtitlan, the capital of the Mexican Empire. In 1521, after the conquest by Hernán Cortés, the Spanish began building their city over the ruins of the indigenous metropolis. This marked the beginning of the cultural fusion that is reflected today in the architecture that combines pre-Hispanic and colonial elements. Some of the most emblematic places are the Zócalo. Although its real name is Plaza de la Constitución, everyone knows it as the Zócalo. It is the main square and the second largest in the world. Around it are some of the most representative buildings, such as the Metropolitan Cathedral. Built between the 16th and 19th centuries, it is the largest cathedral in Latin America and a monumental example of colonial architecture. The National Palace, seat of the federal executive power, this historic building houses murals by Diego Rivera that narrate the history of Mexico. The Templo Mayor, located a few meters from the Zócalo, it is the most important archaeological vestige of ancient Tenochtitlan. Here are the ruins of a temple dedicated to the Mexica gods Huitzilopochtli and Tlaloc. The Palace of Fine Arts. This beautiful white marble building is an icon of art and culture in Mexico. It combines modernism and Art Deco styles and houses works by famous muralists such as Diego Rivera, David Alfaro Siqueiros, and José Clemente Orozco. The Torre Latinoamericana. It was the tallest building in Mexico City for decades and is a symbol of modern development. Its observation deck offers a panoramic view of the historic center. Madero Street, one of the main pedestrian streets, full of shops, cafes, and historic buildings such as the House of Tiles, a palace covered with Talavera tiles. In summary, the historic center of Mexico City is a living testament to the country's history, a space where the traces of the pre-Hispanic civilization, the colonial era, the independence, and modern Mexico converge. Its cultural and architectural value makes it one of the most fascinating destinations in the country. Number 2. Oaxaca. The historic center of Oaxaca de Juarez is one of the most important cultural and architectural jewels of Mexico. Recognized as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO since 1987, together with the archaeological zone of Monte Alban, the historic center of Oaxaca is famous for its cobblestone streets and colonial buildings constructed with green stone, a type of quarry that characterizes many of its structures. The architecture is a mix of Baroque and neoclassical styles, with churches, convents, plazas, and manor houses that show the splendor of the colonial era. One of the most emblematic constructions is the Cathedral of Oaxaca, located in the Plaza de la Constitución. Built in the 16th century, it stands out for its Baroque-style facade and its imposing presence. Near the Zócalo, the Temple of Santo Domingo de Guzman is another of the most important architectural icons. This temple, and the convent next to it, which today houses the Museum of Cultures, are outstanding representations of Novo-Hispanic Baroque. The historic center is the cultural and social heart of the city, where markets, plazas, and traditional events are concentrated. The Benito Juarez Market and the 20 de Noviembre Market are places where visitors can experience the gastronomic richness of Oaxaca, such as mole, chapulines, tazajo, and tlayudas. It is also common to find typical handicrafts such as alabrijes, textiles, and black clay pieces. The Plaza de la Constitución, also known as the Zócalo, is the center of the city's social and political life. Here, both locals and tourists enjoy the shade of the trees, listen to marimbas, or simply walk around. In its surroundings there are restaurants, cafes, and shops, as well as historic buildings like the Government Palace. The historic center of Oaxaca comes alive during traditional festivities, the most famous being the Guelaguetza, an indigenous celebration that brings together different communities of the state to showcase their dances, music, and traditional clothing. This festivity takes place in July and is one of the most important in Mexico. The preservation of the historic center of Oaxaca has been a continuous effort by authorities and the community. Various restorations have been carried out to maintain the integrity of its historic buildings, while construction regulations ensure that new buildings respect the traditional style and aesthetic. Tourism is one of the main sources of income for the city, and the historic center is the focal point of this activity. Every year, thousands of tourists from around the world visit the city to enjoy its history, culture, and the warmth of its people. In addition to its cultural richness, Oaxaca is famous for being one of the most important gastronomic destinations in Mexico, which also attracts visitors interested in trying local cuisine. The historic center of Oaxaca is a space where past and present intertwine. Its colonial buildings, markets, festivities, and the warmth of its people make this place a unique destination that reflects the cultural richness of Mexico. Number 3. Guanajuato. The historic center of Guanajuato is one of the most emblematic areas of Mexico, declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1988. This area stands out for its local architecture, cobblestone streets, underground tunnels, and its vibrant cultural atmosphere. Guanajuato was one of the main mining centers during the colonial period, and its wealth was reflected in the construction of splendid civil and religious buildings. Due to its mountainous geography, the historic center of Guanajuato has a network of winding alleys and tunnels that were originally built to divert the waters of the Guanajuato River, but which now serve as transportation routes. The buildings of the historic center display a combination of architectural styles, mainly Baroque and Neoclassical. One of the most outstanding examples is the Collegiate Basilica of Our Lady of Guanajuato, a majestic temple that safeguards a religious image donated by King Charles I and his son Philip II of Spain in 1557. The Plaza de la Paz is the heart of the city, surrounded by important buildings such as the Basilica Cathedral and old mansions that reflect the splendor of the colonial era. It is a lively place where tourists and locals gather to enjoy the atmosphere. The Juarez Theater is an icon of the city. Inaugurated in 1903, it is known for its imposing neo-classical facade and its eclectic style interiors. Today it hosts cultural festivals such as the famous International Cervantino Festival, one of the most important artistic events in Latin. The University of Guanajuato, with its iconic staircase and neo-classical facade, is one of the most recognizable buildings in the city. Additionally, the university is an important academic and cultural center. The Alley of the Kiss is one of the most well-known romantic stories of Guanajuato. It is linked to the small alley where two balconies are so close to each other that, according to legend, a pair of lovers could kiss between them. The historic center of Guanajuato is a vibrant cultural hub with museums, galleries, and theaters. Every year, the International Cervantino Festival attracts artists from all over the world, filling the streets with music, theater, dance, and film. This festival is a tribute to the writer Miguel de Cervantes and is one of the most important cultural events in Mexico. In addition to its architectural and cultural richness, the historic center of Guanajuato is also a place full of nightlife, restaurants, cafes, and craft shops. Visitors can enjoy walking tours through its alleys or take part in the famous Callejoneadas, where groups of musicians known as estudiantinas guide tourists through the streets while they sing and play traditional instruments. In summary, the historic center of Guanajuato is a cultural jewel that combines history, art, and a unique atmosphere that transports its visitors to another era while they enjoy the beauty of this colonial city. Number 4. Puebla. The historic center of Puebla is one of the most important cultural treasures of Mexico. Founded in 1531, it is characterized by its impressive colonial architecture, cobblestone streets, and a rich history that reflects the blend of indigenous and Spanish influences. Puebla was one of the first planned Spanish settlements in the New World, and its urban layout still maintains many of the original characteristics from the viceregal era. The historic center is full of religious, civil, and cultural monuments. One of the most emblematic buildings is the Puebla Cathedral, a majestic Renaissance and Baroque-style temple built between the 15th and 17th centuries. Its main facade is a true work of art, with its two towers, which are among the tallest in Mexico. Another important place is the Chapel of the Rosary, located inside the Temple of Santo Domingo. This architectural jewel was considered in its time the eighth wonder of the world. The streets of the historic center are full of charm, with their colorful buildings and facades covered in talavera, a traditional ceramic of the region. The Zocalo is a lively gathering place surrounded by restaurants, shops, and cafes. You can also find important museums such as the Amparo Museum, which houses an extensive collection of pre-Hispanic, colonial, and contemporary art, and the Museum of the Mexican Revolution, located in the house of the Certain brothers, protagonists of the first movements of the revolution. Puebla's gastronomy is famous throughout Mexico, and the historic center is an excellent place to try iconic dishes such as mole poblano, chiles en nogada, and semitas. The streets are full of eateries and restaurants that offer an authentic culinary experience. In 1987, the historic center of Puebla was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO due to its exceptional preservation and the importance of its monuments. In addition to being a cultural and tourist center, it is also a place of intense commercial and social activity where the old and the modern coexist in harmony. In summary, the historic center of Puebla is a journey into the past, a window into Mexico's colonial history, with a rich cultural, gastronomic, and architectural offering that makes it one of the most fascinating destinations in the country. Number 5. Querétaro. The historic center of Querétaro is one of the most beautiful and representative in Mexico. Declared a cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO in 1996, its importance lies both in its historical richness and in its well-preserved colonial architecture, which makes it a point of interest for tourists, historians, and lovers of culture. Querétaro was a key city during the viceregal era and played a fundamental role in the history of Mexico. It was in Querétaro where the conspiracy for independence in 1810 was planned, which led to the beginning of the Mexican War of Independence. It is also famous for being the place where the Constitution of 1917, which still governs the country, was enacted. The historic center of Querétaro is full of colonial houses, Baroque churches, and plazas that maintain the essence of the viceregal period. Among the main points of interest are the Aqueduct of Querétaro. This is one of the most recognized symbols of the city, with 74 arches extending along 1,280 meters. Built in the 17th century, it was an engineering work intended to supply water to the city. Plaza de Armas. It is one of the oldest and most elegant plazas in the city, surrounded by colonial houses with decorated balconies. At its center stands a quarry stone fountain dedicated to the Marquis of Villa del Villar del Aguila, a benefactor of the city, the Theater of the Republic. This building is famous for being the place where the Constitution of 1917 was enacted. It has also been the venue for important public and cultural events. Temple of San Francisco de Asís, one of the oldest and most emblematic temples in the city. During colonial times, this convent occupied a large part of the city center. The historic center of Querétaro is also a vibrant place full of cultural life throughout the year. Its streets are filled with activities such as festivals, exhibitions, and outdoor performances. It is a place where tradition and modernity coexist. You can find everything from traditional markets to high-end restaurants. One of the advantages of the historic center is its colonial layout, which invites visitors to explore it on foot. The cobblestone streets, open plazas, and the presence of gardens make it a pleasant place to walk. Visitors can enjoy the facades of the houses with their typical colors and wrought iron balconies. In summary, the historic center of Querétaro is a space where history, architecture, and culture converge, inviting locals and tourists to immerse themselves in the colonial charm of one of the most important cities in Mexico. Number 6. San Miguel de Allende. The historic center of San Miguel de Allende, in the state of Guanajuato, is one of the most charming and emblematic destinations in Mexico, Famous for its well-preserved colonial architecture, its rich history, and its vibrant culture, San Miguel de Allende has been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2008, largely thanks to its historical value and its impressive architectural ensemble that blends Spanish, Indigenous, and Creole influences. One of the main symbols of the city is the parish of San Miguel Arcangel, an impressive neo-Gothic temple known for its pink towers and sculpted facade. The church overlooks the main garden, a central plaza surrounded by trees and greenery, where both locals and tourists gather to enjoy the relaxed atmosphere. Around the main garden are cobblestone streets and colonial buildings with brightly colored facades, balconies adorned with flowers, and wooden doors that transport us to another era. Among the most important buildings are the Municipal Palace, the Angela Peralta Theater, and numerous historic mansions that now house art galleries, craft shops, restaurants, and boutiques. The historic center of San Miguel de Allende has deep roots in Mexico's history. During the colonial period, it was an important stop along the Camino Real de Tierra Adentro, a trade route that connected the north of the country with the viceregal capital. In addition, San Miguel was the birthplace of important figures in Mexico's fight for independence, such as Ignacio Allende, one of the nation's heroes. Today, San Miguel de Allende is also an important cultural and artistic center, with numerous festivals, art galleries, and tourist activities throughout the year. The city has attracted a vibrant community of artists and expatriates who have contributed to its unique blend of tradition and modernity. Strolling through the historic center is a delightful experience. The cobblestone streets, courtyards filled with bougainvillea, and outdoor cafes create a welcoming and peaceful atmosphere. Beyond its aesthetic beauty, the city offers a wide gastronomic selection, with restaurants that combine traditional Mexican cuisine with international influences. The historic center of San Miguel de Allende is also an excellent place to enjoy craft markets, where visitors can find unique pieces such as textiles, ceramics, jewelry, and other handmade goods created by local artisans. Thanks to its rich history and well-preserved heritage, San Miguel de Allende is recognized not only as a major tourist destination in Mexico, but also as an example of cultural heritage conservation. Its inclusion on the World Heritage List highlights the global importance of its architectural and cultural value. This timeless charm, combined with its bohemian atmosphere, makes the historic center of San Miguel de Allende one of the most special places to visit in Mexico. Number 7. Morelia. The historic center of Morelia, located in the capital of the state of Michoacán, is an architectural and cultural jewel that has been recognized as a UNESCO World Cultural Heritage Site since 1991. Founded in 1541 with the name Valladolid, the city was later renamed Morelia in honor of the independence hero José María Morelos y Pavón, who was born there. The historic center of Morelia stands out for its well-preserved colonial architecture, which merges the Baroque style with Renaissance influences. Many of its buildings, including temples, houses, and palaces, were built with a characteristic pink and terra stone that gives a distinctive color and appearance to the city. Among the most notable monuments are the Cathedral of Morelia, one of the most representative icons of the city. It is a majestic Baroque work built between the 16th and 18th centuries. Its facade is made of pink cantera, and its towers reach a height of more than 60 meters. The Government Palace, a building that houses murals inside that narrate the history of Michoacán. The Aqueduct of Morelia, an impressive construction of more than 250 arches that dates back to the 17th century and that served to carry water to the city. The Sanctuary of Guadalupe, a temple that stands out for its interior richly decorated with folk art and vibrant tones of gold and red. Plaza de Armas, the heart of the historic center, surrounded by notable buildings such as the Cathedral, the Government Palace, and old commercial portales. Morelia was an important cultural and political stronghold during the Viceroyalty and later in the fight for Mexico's independence. The historic center continues to be a vibrant space of cultural life, with museums, art galleries, plazas, and festivals. Among them, the Morelia International Film Festival stands out, which is held annually and attracts filmmakers from around the world. Walking through the streets of the center of Morelia is a journey into the past. Its cobblestone streets, tree-lined squares, and well-preserved colonial facades invite visitors to explore on foot. In addition, it is an area with an active nightlife full of cafes, restaurants, and bars that offer the best of local and national gastronomy. The historic center of Morelia is a place where history, architecture, culture, and contemporary life intertwine, making it one of the most beautiful and significant destinations in Mexico. Number 8. Zacatecas. The historic center of Zacatecas is one of the most important and beautiful destinations in Mexico, recognized for its rich history, colonial architecture, and its status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1993. Founded in 1546 after the discovery of silver deposits, Zacatecas was one of the most significant mining cities of New Spain. Its economic prosperity was reflected in the construction of imposing religious and civil buildings and public squares, all with a Baroque and neoclassical style that is still preserved. The city is characterized by the use of pink cantera in its constructions, which gives it a unique color and texture. Among the most emblematic buildings are the Cathedral Basilica of Zacatecas, a masterpiece of new Spanish Baroque built between 1730 and 1770. Its main facade is famous for its intricate details sculpted in the cantera. The Fernando Calderón Theater, inaugurated in 1833, is one of the oldest theaters in the country, and its neoclassical design with elegant interiors makes it an architectural jewel. El Subor Aqueduct, with more than 33 cantera arches, built in the 18th century to supply water to the city, is now a visual symbol of the urban landscape. The Temple of Santo Domingo, another impressive example of Baroque architecture, this temple houses an impressive golden altarpiece in its interior. The narrow and cobblestone streets of the center intertwine with beautiful plazas, among which Plaza de Armas stands out. It is the heart of the city, surrounded by colonial buildings such as the Government Palace. Here, cultural events and traditional festivals are celebrated. The historic center of Zacatecas is also a highly important cultural center, home to several significant museums, such as the Rafael Coronel Museum, which contains a vast collection of traditional Mexican masks, and the Pedro Coronel Museum, with an impressive collection of pre-Hispanic and European art. In addition, the Manuel Falgueres Museum of Abstract Art is recognized for its outstanding collection of contemporary abstract art. One of the main attractions that can be enjoyed from the center is the view of Cerro de la Bufa, a natural viewpoint accessible by the city's cable car. On the hill, there are historical monuments and an impressive panoramic view of Zacatecas and its surroundings. The historic center of Zacatecas is a destination that combines history, culture, and architectural beauty with a peaceful and picturesque atmosphere that invites you to get lost in its streets full of colonial charm. Number 9. Mérida. The historic center of Mérida is one of the largest and best preserved in Mexico, known for its colonial architecture, its rich cultural history, and its vibrant social life. Founded in 1542 over the ruins of an ancient Maya city, Mérida has been a key point in the historical development of the region, combining Maya, Spanish, and Mestizo influences. Among the most important sites within the historic center of Mérida are Plaza Grande. The heart of the city is Plaza Grande, a wide central square surrounded by historic buildings. It is a space full of trees, benches, and gardens where both tourists and locals gather to enjoy the relaxed atmosphere. Plaza Grande is also a stage for cultural and social events. Cathedral of San Ildefonso. On one side of Plaza Grande is the Cathedral of San Ildefonso, which was erected as the first continental cathedral in the Americas. It was built between 1562 and 1598 using stones from ancient Maya temples. Its austere facade and imposing interior make it one of the main symbols of the city. Government Palace. Another of the most important buildings in Plaza Grande is the Government Palace, known for its murals that narrate the history of Yucatan from the pre-Hispanic era to the 20th century. The colonial-style building houses government offices and is open to the public, allowing visitors to admire both its architecture and its art. Casa de Montejo. Also located in front of Plaza Grande, this house is a magnificent example of colonial architecture and one of the few original residences from the era that are still preserved. It was built by the Spanish conquerors and is famous for its elaborate plateresque facade. It currently functions as a museum. At night, the center comes to life with lights that illuminate its monuments and the music that resonates from nearby bars, cafes, and restaurants. Tourists and locals enjoy the gastronomic offerings that combine the flavors of Yucatecan cuisine with international influences. The historic center of Mérida has been the subject of conservation efforts to maintain its original character, especially in its cobblestone streets, colonial facades, and public squares. Through restoration and rehabilitation programs, the local government and various organizations have sought to preserve its historic charm while promoting local tourism. In summary, the historic center of Mérida is a vibrant testament to the cultural and architectural richness of Yucatan, where the past and the present coexist in a dynamic and welcoming environment. Number 10. San Francisco de Campeche. Located in the capital of the state of Campeche, the historic center is one of the most fascinating destinations in the country, recognized for its historical and cultural richness. In 1999, it was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO due to its well-preserved colonial urban layout, the fortifications, and the unique character of its buildings. Campeche was founded in 1540 by the Spanish conquerors over a Maya settlement. During the colonial period, it became an important commercial port of the Gulf of Mexico, which also attracted pirate attacks. To defend the city, a system of fortifications, walls, and bastions was built, some of which are still preserved and can be visited. The walls that surround the old town were designed with bastions, gates, and a defense system that includes the Baluarte de San Francisco, the Baluarte de San Carlos, which currently houses the City Museum, and others that were part of this coastal defense. You can also visit the forts of San Miguel and San Jose el Alto, located on nearby hills that offered additional protection from the mainland. The historic center is distinguished by its cobblestone streets and vibrant colored facades that have been meticulously preserved. The colonial houses with red tile roofs and carved wooden doors give it a picturesque atmosphere that invites you to walk and explore. Most of these buildings have been restored, and many are used as shops, restaurants, art galleries, or museums. Among the most important sites within the historic center of Campeche are the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception, a majestic Baroque temple from the 16th century that dominates the main square, and the Francisco de Paula Toro Theater, an elegant neoclassical style theater that has been a cultural center since the 19th century. Another highlight is Puerta de Tierra, one of the two original gates that remain from the city wall. It is possible to climb to the top of the wall from this gate and walk along it to enjoy panoramic views of the city. The historic center of Campeche is also a vibrant setting of local culture. During important festivities such as the Campeche Carnival, one of the oldest in Mexico, or the Day of the Faithful Departed celebrations, the area fills with color, music, and traditions that mix indigenous and Spanish elements. In summary, the historic center of Campeche is an architectural and cultural jewel that transports visitors to Mexico's colonial past, offering a unique combination of history, tradition, and natural beauty in a peaceful and well-preserved environment. These historic centers are just a sample of the cultural and architectural richness of Mexico, each one with its own character and unique charm that reflect the complexity of the country's history. If you like this video, give us a like and don't forget to share this video with your friends so more people can discover the magic of Mexico. See you next time.